They'll be going out first a little bit later on, so again, keep tuned for that one. Toby Gale taking the first win in the OK Junior category earlier on today after he qualified it on pole position. So again, he's looking to see if he can get another flag-to-flag finish in the next few minutes' time. Qualifying Heat 2 for OK and Junior coming up next. And again, I'll have the likes of Metanch Jain starting alongside. The driver who finished in P3 earlier on, so just lost out on one place, but still a very strong result. There is Toby Gale, getting himself primed and ready to go for this one. We are moments away from kick-starting this race. Currently 5th in the championships, sits behind Connor Clancy in the points, but has got the work ahead of him on this one. Connor Clancy, who is currently 10th on this grid, has got a bit of work to do to catch up to his championship contender just ahead of him. The same as the likes of, we'll have to wait and see, the same for the likes of Metanch Jain. James Anagnostiadis starting this one on the second row of the grid in P4, the current championship leader at the number 36, only coming away with a P6 earlier on in the first race, so is looking to get a better one in this. Has to try and get that kart to the inside line, as unfortunately grinding to a halt right in front of our camera there is Veer Chopra, who does get a second chance, but unfortunately that just it then kickstarts a chain reaction there, because of course these OKEN karts, they've not got any clutch or anything like that, just keep going. Well, they haven't got a clutch, but yes, it's a straight direct drive. It pushes it, you have to keep it going, and that unfortunately just causes a train reaction there, and everyone's stalling out of the pit lane, so that's not what you want to see, but thankfully it looks like they've all got going again, so the field relatively spread out now. Let's quickly fire through the starting lineup then. It's exactly the same as what it was earlier on. It's Toby Gale and Metanch Jain starting it on the front row of the grid. They'll have Maxim Bobajov and James Anagnostiadis on row number 2. Kasper Reinpold and Nicholas Stanley go from row 3. They'll have Egon Prodotti. He's looking for a better result in this one after he DNF'd on the opening lap earlier on today. We'll have Zaria Dubkovsky starting alongside. Anian Singh, who also DNF later on in the race, starts it on P5. We'll have Connor Clancy for company. Mateusz Witwer and Veer Chopra going from row number 6. Ella Hakkinen, who finished inside the top 10 in the first race earlier on today, starts alongside William Marshall, who just finished on ahead on row number 7. They'll have the likes of Isaac Say and Angelina Simmons-Torres on row 8. Axel Nocom and Victoria Farfus go from row 9. They'll have Leonidas Peruzzi and Oscar Gallin on row 10. Vida Yuland and Vanessa Shilkanen go from row 11. Flavio Caria and Didier Krieft go from row 12. They'll have Dinya Islamov and Sanjana Dandu on row 13. Amelia Vishomirska looking for a better result on this one. Unfortunately, TSQ'd from that first race after a bad maneuver. But on the 14th row of the grid, alongside Zachariah Dole. Karine Kaur and Marcel Sabella go from row 15. They'll have Sujana Dandu, who rounds out the 31 kart field. But there is Veer Chopra. We saw their kart stall earlier on, and now it looks to me like it's stalled again and is not fired up. So he's going to have to wait for the entire grid to get past on their first lap before Veer Chopra can start this race. So that is not the best start. First time of asking. Rest of the grid, though, looks good and ready to go racing. Are we racing? The answer to that is yes, we are, as the field makes their way down in towards turn number 1. It's a brilliant start again for the front runners. And this time around, Toby Gale holds on to that front spot. But there, it's a much better start for Metanch Jain, who holds on to second place. It's a much better start for the rest of the field as well. There was a concertina effect at turn 3 in the opening lap last time around for the OKN Junior category, but this time it's all fine and clear then as they exit out for the rest of the lap as they head down the hill through under the bridge through turn number 8 here. Fast sweeping left-hand corner here for the drivers. All of them getting through. I think one or two just struggling. Isaac Says, another driver, who's had a moment, and there's one driver who's had a big moment there under the bridge. Karine Kaur, with a front wheel coming off, is out of this race just before the entrance of the tunnel. So that is a huge shame. That's at turn number 8, and that is a hefty whack into the wall there. So hopefully that Karine Kaur is okay, but that is another not a great result there for Karine Kaur. Had a DNF earlier on and now front wheel coming off. That's not what you want to see at all. Gale leading the way then at this moment in time. There is Anagnostiadis, currently in P4, has got the close company of And Singh just behind there. Maxim Bobrajov this time around has not been able to hold on to second place. He's currently there in 7th, has just got overtaken from Nicholas Stanley, who's got up through as yellow flags out in that sector. Of course, that will be for Karine Kaur with that wheel off. Rest of the field here, though, as Agnostiadis now getting overtaken by Anian Singh. Moves himself up now into P4. So Anian Singh, who had a DNF earlier on, I saw him walking away from his car, I believe caught out with an incident with, I would say, not so sure on that one, but certainly had a dramatic opening race. Eyes on this, though, as, now is that slow procedure? Yes, it is. We are under slow procedure. So the race has been neutralised. Judging by the race pace there of Toby Gale, I suspect he's probably not seen that slow procedure board out just yet. And I think he's got the message now, as I think he's slowly starting to bring it backwards. So we are under slow procedure for the start then of this race. Now we've had no other retirements apart from Veer Chopra down at turn number 8. Of course, that wheel coming off, and while there is Veer Chopra, Karine Kaur, sorry, out of this race. And Veer Chopra was, of course, the non-starter. The engine has got going, is still in this race. But it is Karine Kaur then, who was, of course, caught out with that wheel coming off. And unfortunately, out of this race. So the field neutralised. Toby Gale bringing the pack down to a steady position now as the field closes up. This gives a slight advantage to the drivers behind now. Puts them right back up where they want to be here. Gives them a good example. Here's what happened then, right at the back. Oh, wheel straight off. See you later. And oh, that was an almighty hit into the wall. An almighty hit into the barrier there for Karine Kaur from Singapore in the number 49. But there you can see walking away. But that is an almighty hit into the barrier. So hopefully Karine Kaur is okay after that one. But yeah, that wheel just coming loose there. And you always have to trust your kart. You always have to trust your mechanic has done exactly what he's needed to do and get those wheels on as much as it can. But sometimes things can just break. And unfortunately there, for Karine Kaur out of this race and a very fast part of the lap. Drivers going around for another lap under the slow procedure. We're not back to racing conditions just yet as the marshals get that kart into a safe spot. Yellow flag still waving, indicating that at this point we're not ready to go green and racing. It's when you see those yellow flags go static, which they have now just done. So yellow flags now static out on track, which means at the end of this lap, we should be back to green and racing conditions. So now Gale will see that message from the marshals. He'll see that those flags have stopped waving out on circuit, and that gives the green light now. Drivers starting to get temperature back into those tyres. I don't think they'll have lost too much temperature in those tyres. Air temp still 34 degrees. Track temperature pretty much double that, pushing the 60s, maybe even pushing the 70-degree mark out there. It's incredibly, incredibly hot on that tarmac. So real tense moment for the drivers to make sure those tyres stay in good working condition. Of course, the Vega tyres certainly delivering strong here. Here we go then for a race restart. Gale's pulled the plug earlier on and he's caught out Mintash Jain, who has stayed there in second place and has not been able to close in. And then you can see a little bit sideways there going through turn number 2. So maybe those tyres temperatures weren't fully up to scratch there for Mintash Jain. So holding on second place though. Casper Reipold still there in third place. In fact, I tell a lie, not there in third place, there in second place, has got through past Jain. And now the lights are, has Reipold gone down? Because is it Anian Singh who's got through actually into third place? I'll update on that one as they can definitely see going backwards is Casper Reipold is right in front now of James Agnostiadis. So yeah, no, it's still the 58 of Mintash Jain who's still there in second place. So change been happening there, but it's Anian Singh up to third place as now it's all starting to kick off in the background here as the pinch point as they go through. here. Well, Nicholas Stanley's managed to get through. Maxim Bobajov managed to get through as well. But Toby Gale is under investigation. Now, that start was good, but did he go just a fraction too early there on the restart? That's the question. So Toby Gale is under investigation right now. The race leader and race winner from qualifying Heat 1 is in the eyes of the stewards. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one and see what happens, but that could be a really strong message to Mitansh Jain here in second place to get a race win here. Certainly pile on the pressure, and we'll have to think about pressure here because Aryan Singh has closed up. The race lead now is a three-car battle, and Aryan Singh is piling on the pressure now as they go into the final chicane here through turns 16 and 17. Back onto the start-finish straight as they go in towards turn 1. We go into lap 8 of 9. Last lap boards out this time around. And Mitansh Jain's just checked over the shoulder and can see now that Aryan Singh is no longer there because Aryan Singh has got through into second place, has got through at turn number 3 and has retaken that spot back and is now looking to see if he can get that position done on Toby Gale. Well, let's see what happens here as they head through. There was a check over the shoulder from both Gale and Mitansh.
He's gone early.
Well, there we're seeing a moment there from the race director, but eyes focusing on this one, possibly for the investigation for Gale there, because maybe was he a little bit too eager on the throttle on that restart, but Gale right now just pushing himself through and holding on to the lead here as we go on to the last lap of this race. It is Gale who leads, but Aryan Singh is right there behind. And there's a wheel off in the background. A wheel off at turn number 1. That's another wheel that's come off, and it's James Anagnostiidis. It's the championship leader as the lead changes, as Aryan Singh takes the lead of this one. Gale's down to third. Off the track goes the championship leader and tumbles down the order. He's out of the cart and walking away, but this battle isn't over yet. Gale's going to fight it back to the outside of turn number 9. Can't get it done. Stays behind. Stays there in P2. But we've got the back straight to go here. We've got the slipstream. Is Aryan Singh going to go defensive? The answer to that is yes. He will squeeze Toby Gale to the outside here, going in towards turn number 13, and he holds him all the way around the outside. Gale gets it through, but did he go off the track there? Did he go off the track to take that place? Across the line they'll go. It's going to be Gale across the line. He's not going to celebrate. He knows already he's under investigation. And that overtake out of turn 13 did hit. From our angle, we couldn't see it. From our angle, we couldn't see if he'd gone all 4 off the circuit to gain that place back. But, well, Toby Gale takes the win on track. That might not be the end of it, though. Aryan Singh finishes in P2, 7 places gained for Aryan Singh for South Africa. We didn't get to see much of Aryan Singh the last race, like we were saying. Got caught out with that DNF. Going backwards in the early stages of that first race. Nicholas Stanley finishes in P3. Great results for the Spanish-American. Looking very, very strong. 3 places gained, finishes in 3rd place ahead of Mitansh Jain, who finishes in 4th place. Casper Reinpold from Matis Vitva. Maxim Bobajov from Connor Clancy. William Marshall from Ella Hakkinen. Victoria Farfus for Brazil finishing in P11. Xavier Dudkovsky from Egon Prodotti. Didier Christ from Axel Nocom. Leonardo Peruzzi from Zachariah Dole. Angelina Simmons from Oscar Gallin. Dinia Islamov, Veer Chopra. Having a good race in that one, actually recovering back to 21st after not getting started off at the back of the field, lap down nearly at the start of it. Amelia Vishamirska finishing in P22 ahead of Vanessa Shilkane. And the likes of Vera Jurland and Sanjana Dandu, Flavio Cadia, Marcel Sapella, Sujana Dandu finishing that one in 28th place in the 2 retirements. James Anagnostiidis and Karine Kaur, both of them with wheels coming off. Isaac Say, and there was the rear wheel